Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Uncovered Beauty. I am extremely excited today about our guest that we have with us today, Miss Jhaney Monique. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get into all the things, y'all. So, she has been in the game for the last 10 years. She specializes in braids, locks, natural styles, one of the best out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, if I might say so myself. And yes, I'm biased because she has serviced me and my family before. We worked together before. So yeah, I know how she works. And she is that girl when it comes to these things. So, Janae, go ahead and tell us who you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been in the game, and whatever you want your audience to know.
Okay, well, I have been a licensed cosmetologist since 2020. I'm also a licensed cosmetology instructor
Mhm.
since about 2022, I believe.
Mhm.
Um, I have my own hair. I conduct my own hair show throughout the year. I just started my first annual hair show last year.
Mhm.
This year, I've just started doing classes, natural hair classes for youth, which is turning over
Mhm.
into a natural hair class that I'm going to start promoting on my own for all ages.
Yes.
I've started working and connecting with other businesses and things and such, just trying to get from behind the chair a little bit to get my business name out there.
Mhm.
And I just love doing hair. I love it. Hair is life. But
Yes.
I started braiding when I was 5 years old. I'm a self-taught in most of the things that I do, but I actually started braiding when I was 5 years old. And from there it was just a dream come true, honestly.
Yes. 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 Okay. Okay. So people that don't know, because you said you were self-taught, you know,
Yes.
but I love how you said that you are trying to do things beyond a chair, and that is like one of the bases of what I want this show to be about. Is people
Right.
getting from behind the chair so much and learning how to make multiple streams of income. But we'll get to that.
Okay.
So you said you've been um doing this since you were 5 years old, self-taught. Tell us about your journey. Where did you start? Like, were you always in a salon? Did you start working from home at the beginning? Tell, like, if a person was getting ready to start thinking about doing it, they have this talent. Tell them what your story has looked like, what your process
So
has looked like.
my story I did start in a home. I actually was doing hair out of my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, and before I was licensed, we all had a little kitchen stitching little days like that.
Listen, listen.
So I did do hair in my room when I was in high school. I did my friend's
Okay.
hair. I started off doing my hair when I would go to school. Everybody would just be like, "Oh, girl, I love your hair. Can you do
Mm-hmm.
that to mine?" So I started doing like that. That's when I really found out that I love the time spent doing hair. Not just I
Right.
just love doing my own hair, love doing hair. But then after that, I even when I got married and I was in the moved to Texas and
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee, I did hair
I
out
didn't
there
know
just
you
to
were
make
in
extra
Tennessee.
money. Yeah, so when I was married, my previous husband, he was in the military, so he got stationed at Fort
Mm.
Bliss, and
Okay.
I was doing hair out there.
Okay.
But that transformed whenever I got back here to Fayetteville. I have a master's degree in applied behavior analysis, which is psychology.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was in that field, but it just came a time where I was working in that field, and I was also doing clients as on the side as part time money.
Right.
And I did not change over until I'm going to work for this 60 $80 a day. But the
Mm-hmm.
clients that I have to decline to get that 60 $80 a day, I'm declining 250 300 a day. And at the
Right.
time, that's what it was. So I had actually called my mom and I was like, "Yo, something gotta give." So
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
I was like, my mom is always, guiding me just because I always make sure I'm making sound right decisions. I don't just
Right.
make my
Right.
decisions and step into it. So I got some advice from her, and her being where she grew up in the era she grew up in, it wasn't a thing to just be self-employed,
Right.
because there is no security in that.
Yes.
So, and that's what she was worried about. But I told her, I had to say, this wasn't just a day that, I'm missing out on money. This has been a consistent basis, month after
Right.
month. I'm constantly turning people down or whatever. So after I had that, I eventually switched over and I dropped my secular job and started just doing hair. And
Mm.
I moved did it out of my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
I moved into my mom's house even because I had some issues with my apartment and everything like that. So my mom, I
Mhm.
was like, Mom, I need somewhere to go. I need to do
Mhm.
hair. So she was like, Well, you can do hair out of my house. So I did hair at her house for a little bit. After that, after I got licensed and everything like that, I moved into my first salon, which was Marcus Dot
Mhm.
Salon. I was
Mhm.
head over heels because
Yes.
um because Marcus Dot is a well-known, hairstylist here in the
Yep.
Fayetteville community.
Shout out to
And
Marcus.
yes, shout out to him. So, and I found my family. That's where we met. I
Yes.
really found a good group of people to connect with while I was in that salon. It was all good
Right.
things. The only reason I moved on is because it's always time to do bigger and better. So,
Right.
but I had my first booth there. I got my
Mhm.
first suite there, and then
Mhm.
after that, me and myself and two of the other girls that I met at that salon, we end up getting our own two suites that we shared. And
Yes.
then after that, I moved from that where I was sharing, and we changed our business name so that it would be a reflection of all three of us.
Yes.
And then I end up moving into my own suite at Sweet Transformations,
Mhm.
and now I'm in a double suite. And
Yes.
hopefully, I'm gonna keep the faith, but hopefully I will have my own salon by the end of the year. So we gonna see. So
Yes.
yeah,
And
that's the
we
movement.
Uncover Beauty, we will be going to the grand opening. We're gonna speak that
Yes.
into existence. We're gonna do a live stream from the grand opening.
I look forward to it. I look forward to
But that
it.
is so good. That really shows the progress because
Mhm.
some people get into the game and we want success overnight. And I think that just comes for
Mhm.
us being in like this popcorn type of
Yeah.
society where we kind of want to start doing it today and be a salon owner tomorrow. And
Mhm.
ideally, that's not realistic. And honestly, it's I think it's best to go through the process because it gives you appreciation and it
Mhm.
helps you not to bite off more than you could chew so quickly.
Absolutely.
You got to learn how to, be behind the chair and budget just from being behind the chair monthly versus taking on all this overhead. So,
Correct. That is
yes.
one thing I definitely appreciated whenever I was going through the process. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you will see, okay, people opening up salons and it'll get a little discouraging. But
Yeah.
one thing that God just kept dropping in my spirit is take the time to learn what you need to learn. It
Yes.
doesn't need to be. It's not a race. It's not any of that. You need to take this time. And every season, every transition, I always give myself time. I don't just say, okay, 6 months. I'm gonna be like, I give myself time to learn where
Yeah.
I'm at, where I'm currently at, and to also plan to where I'm going next. Not just taking moves just to take them, but actually
Yeah.
it makes sense. Make it make
Yeah.
sense.
Mhm. Yes. Yes. That is so good, honey. That actually helped me.
Yeah.
We gotta have reminders sometimes because
Yes, absolutely.
yes. Okay. So, what kept you pushing in those times where you were like you said, getting a little bit discouraged, or comparison is the thief of all joy. We heard
Hmm.
that 1,000 times,
Right.
but in this game where everything is so social media driven, everything is so quick. Like you see the celebrity hairstylist, you might be in a booth where you
Mhm.
see a stylist right next to you, got 8 clients in a day, and you just got your one or your two. And it's like, how did you stay level headed and understanding like I'm going for the marathon, not the sprint?
It was really me building that confidence within myself. And that's where I feel like it started because without confidence in yourself, I feel like naturally we compare. But
Right.
when you have low self-esteem and you compare, that's when jealousy starts to creep in. That's when
Yes.
oversight starts to creep in. That's when the comparison kind of overrules your mind. And instead of thinking, and I always look at things like rather than it making me jealous or making me feel like I need to do the same exact thing, it inspires me. Okay,
Right.
I saw this person do that. That was dope. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
let me take the time to set up what I need to set up and do what
Yes.
I need to do on my end. And it may not be the exact same thing that that person wants to do, but just to see somebody moving forward for me is very motivational. And the
Yeah.
fact that my confidence, I do have it's not low self esteem that's targeted towards that or attached to
Mm-hmm.
my confidence. I'm able to take somebody else's success and really turn it into my own and take
Yes.
and learn from that and apply it to myself and say, okay, what do I need to do to set myself up to keep going, to make sure that, like I said, it's making sense. So yeah,
Yes, yes, yes. And I'm a firm believer that success breeds success. So
absolutely.
like when we moved into Marcus Dawson's salon, that was one of the most that I had ever seen my business just flourish. And I
Hmm.
believe that it's because I believe in like the power of proximity. So if
Right.
you position yourself with people who are doing what you're doing, going where you're going, you can learn from them, all of these things. It's like, being in that power of around those people, it starts to generate some things. You're like, okay, how can I do better? Like you just
Right.
said. So yes, I definitely agree with that. Even if you are a stylist that is working in the suite, we both are suite owners now. So
Hmm.
it's like still it's so important to put yourself in community still. Go
Hmm.
outside of your suite and talk to the other stylists. Go outside and
Absolutely.
see what services they offer because they might be a last check. You might be a hairstylist. Y'all can interchange clients, interchange information, figure out how y'all can work together. And that keeps
Absolutely.
that fire going. It keeps it kindled. So don't be afraid of you know, working with together with the people that are around
Hmm.
you and building a community. You need a community in life, period. Whether
Period.
that's
Yes, ma'am.
church community, family community, business community,
Hmm.
we need community. So, and I talked about this on our last podcast. I hate the fact that our society is kind of, or our business culture is kind of like mean girlish.
Hmm.
You know,
Absolutely.
we like, oh, well, she doing like this. Oh, honey, I could do it better than that. Or
Yeah,
even
and it doesn't
even
it
the
doesn't have to be
client,
that.
yes, even
Hmm.
the clients can be like, I've had so many clients say, well, the other girl, she did and she just didn't. So I came
And
to you. Okay, well, thank you, but
hmm,
let's not
we don't
bash
have to
her
start off
because
that way.
listen, because that let me know where your mind is already.
Yes.
Because
And
you'll
one
go and
thing
do the
about
same
our
thing to me.
business, I'm sorry, but one thing
No,
about our business is we birth it, so it's our baby. So just like you said, we
yes,
need community. Every baby needs a village to grow. You
yes,
can't do it by yourself. And in the
yes,
sense, is it yours? Are you putting in the groundwork? Are you doing the planning? Are you doing the financing and everything? Absolutely. But even when it came to my hair show, I cannot take full credit for the success of that hair show because I had so many people come together and say, "Hey, I'm gonna take care of this for you. I'm gonna do this for you.
yes.
What do you need? I can help out here." And if I wouldn't have had that village to help
Mm-hmm.
me, I would have been strung out somewhere. I'm just going, I mean, I don't even mean to
Yes.
put it like that, but
Seriously,
like
girl.
I would have been stressed. It would have been
Yes.
so stressful, but I had so much help. But we need that village. And even like we said, when we were in the community at Marcus Dawes Salon, and even the one that I'm in now,
Mm-hmm.
where it's salon suites, and we all only time we really see each other is at the shampoo bowls. But we make it a point to get to know each other, even in that shared space, even
Yeah.
outside. I've still had people, even though we're in different suites, where they come knock on my door. Hey, you got a wig cap? I ran
Mm-hmm.
out.
Yeah.
You got some mousse? I ran out. And then next week it's me. Hey, you got some rubber bands? Cause I ran
Yeah.
out. Or even, we're stylists, so we're always on the go. It's hard for us to get appointments. So they're coming and texting in the group chat. Hey, anybody got time to just do a wash and shampoo on me real quick?
Right.
So that's
Listen.
extra money in your pocket just by being in the community. And
Yes.
it's just it's really good, like you said, to stay in connection because even with some of the giving away events that I do, even for back to school. I've had some of the stylists come and help me out with that. So those are successful. So it's definitely beneficial to, even
Yes.
with being by yourself, to build that community and to have that village for sure.
Yes. Yes. I love that. And I think it's all about positioning yourself to be
Hmm.
friendly, to be
Yes.
approachable.
Yes.
Being able to position yourself to have those doors be open to you. So
It's so funny
yes.
you brought that up because I had two people, I think, within the last month that they're new stylists to the building that I'm in. And that was the first thing they said. They was like, "Oh, I'm gonna come call you because you're just very approachable. Like you seem
Yeah.
like you gonna talk
Hmm.
back. And I was just like, girl, like, yeah, like, but
Yeah.
I understand because, like you said, in this industry, it is a lot of cattiness, it is a lot of competition spirit, it's a
Hmm.
lot of that. So I'm glad I'm able to put off that or like, yes, we can build a community. Absolutely.
Yes, yes. And I
Mhm.
will say, just from when I first met you, for sure, you were very open, welcoming,
Yeah.
how can I help? Help me understand.
Yes.
I feel like, that's your that's kind of how, your vibe is. So I definitely love
Hmm.
that. And we need that. So
Absolutely.
yes, I want to get into more of the hair side of things.
Okay.
We haven't talked about culture and things like that, but I want to get into the actual hair part. So you say, I know you specialize in natural hair, natural product styles. What drew you to that? I know you said you've been braiding since you were 5, but what made you say, well, maybe I want to do like micro links, or because some people are starting to niche down with what they offer. So
Hmm.
what made you stick with the natural hair? What about it that made you love it so much?
Well, one, I became natural when I was in the high school, my junior year in high
Hmm.
school. I had cut off all my, had a mohawk, and I ended up cutting my whole
Okay.
mohawk off and went completely natural. Had a low buzz fade. I dyed it bleach
Hmm.
to be a little cute. Um,
Okay.
but I have always, ever since then, and ever since I have been into the cosmetology field, I've always seen people of all ages talk about how they don't know how to care for their natural hair, or I
Yes.
like my natural hair, or my
Hmm.
natural hair does not grow. Whatever it was this fight and this barrier in between us and our hair. And
Yes.
I don't want to talk about slavery or anything like that, but
Hmm.
in my opinion, it does kind of stem from that because we were never taught from the beginning or given the
Right.
right tools and implements to be able to care for our hair.
Right.
So, where some other cultures may have a heads up on us with the knowledge about their own, we were a little behind. And so, I wanted to kind of keep the rotation and the cycle going of us actually loving our hair and
Yes.
having the desire to be educated about our hair so that we can know how to take care of it, how to grow it, all that stuff like that. So I'll never give up on natural hair.
Yes. I know that's right.
It's my heart.
Listen. And I love the fact that you have positioned yourself in your brand to be able to teach other people,
Hmm.
because that's something that I'm actually going through the process of right now. And it's like, we need more.
Yeah,
People just
absolutely.
don't know.
They just don't
So
know. They really don't.
yeah, they don't know. So um what is one of the myths about hair, natural hair, that you just are sick of hearing and you want to educate people on?
I just said it honestly. My
Oh.
natural hair does not grow. Okay.
Does
That
not
is
grow.
yes. I
Yeah.
have a lot of people that come to me and they're like, it just won't grow. I can't get it to grow. And then when I'm asking them what is their routine, what are they
Mm-hmm.
doing? They really can't give me anything besides, oh, I'll put some oil on it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, like, that's
Yeah.
good. I
Okay.
don't, and I'm very honest, but I'm encouraging as well because,
Mm-hmm.
all right, we're at step one. You put oil in your hair. Great job, Bookie Butt. Like, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But in addition to putting oil on your hair, that's not enough. Our hair needs
Mm-hmm.
way more TLC than just putting oil on it. And I kind of take them through the step of what they should need to start implementing on their hair before even adding the oil so that they're actually caring for that hair strand and putting the nourishment and TLC into it that it needs because our hair
Yes.
requires a lot. It does. It
Mhm.
requires a lot of attention.
It
So,
does.
yes. So, I have to kind of tell them that, but the attention that it requires once you get the hang of it and actually learn your hair and
Mm-hmm.
learn what you like to do to your hair and everything like that, the routine gets easier. It gets
Mm-hmm.
easier. You start to learn what you need, what works for you, all that stuff, and it's not so much of a job. Just taking up a little time in your day to show that you care. That's all.
Exactly. Yes,
Hmm.
I love that. So we know that a lot of people are, it's easy for us to do these protective styles.
Hmm.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
What? So, because some people think that keeping your hair braided, keeping your hair up is a protective style, but it can actually be a damaging style if your hair
Hmm.
is not taken care of properly. Tell
Correct.
us about the difference between a protective style and an actual protective style.
So a protective style, such as the braids, the
Hmm.
constant wig installs, the thing about those is that they're not. I won't call them bad. They're not
Right.
bad.
They're
The
not
thing
bad.
about it is that people do not do the proper TLC prior to and
Hmm.
after these styles to ensure that it's actually going to protect what you're. Because if you're braiding your hair up or putting it under wigs and you have dead ends, are we protecting dead ends? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
What are we protecting? And
Yes.
then also on top of that, once you keep those styles in for a certain amount of time, it kind of defeats you actually protecting it, because once again, what are we protecting? Dryness, because we haven't
Yeah.
put any moisture into our hair in over 6 weeks.
Yes.
So how is it actually being protected? How is it being cared for? The thing
Right.
that I actually think are protective styles are things that like help accent our natural hair, but have our natural hair actually out and available to still be
Hmm.
reached with the
Yes.
products and with the TLC. So for
Yeah.
instance, this style right here,
Yeah.
this ain't my hair, but I'm able to still do my hair in between, and my hair
Right.
is out throughout here, so that whenever I do my twist out, whenever I do my flexi rod set, my hair is still getting that nourishment that it needs, so that
Yes.
it's able to still grow, and it's actually a protective style.
Right.
I know other protective styles that are actually protective styles would be your two strand twist, would be your
Yes.
plaits, would be okay, the half cornrow style with plaits in the back or two
Yeah.
strands. Things such as that. Anything that's you are going to be able to actually reach your hair and
Hmm.
put that TLC back into it. If you can't
Yes.
reach your hair and put that TLC back into it, and the constant attention that it needs, hydration, moisture, I don't
Hmm.
necessarily call it a protective style.
Yeah.
I call it a covering up style. Put my hair up, you know.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, braids can be a protective style, but we have to learn how to use our braid misters while we have these
Hmm.
braids in. We have to learn how to use our oil, our hydration, even in between those factors too, which unfortunately most of us do not. We put the braids in, we put the wig in, and we forget about our hair. It's
Yes.
forgotten about. We need an actual protective style is a style that you can have over your hair, but still care for your hair.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I love that. Listen
Hmm.
to her, y'all. She dropping some major gems because a lot of people just do not know. And I had a
Hmm.
client, I posted a video earlier this week where I was like cutting my client's hair, but I didn't cut what I felt it should have been cut because it was her first time coming to me. And I
Hmm.
didn't want to just chop, chop, chop her hair. I
Right.
wanted her to trust me and, and build that rapport with me before we did
Hmm.
that. So I had somebody comment on the video on TikTok and say, no, you don't have to go in with the big guns next time. You can do it little by little. And I said, well, thank you for your input, but
Right.
that's only going to prolong her journey by
Hmm.
doing it little by little.
Right.
So I think clients have to understand, sometimes it is okay to not go as fast because you're trying to build that rapport with the stylist.
Right.
But once you find somebody that you actually trust to help you guide you into growing your hair, it's okay to be like, okay, make it make sense for me. Let's talk it through. Every time I
Right.
have a client come into my chair, I say, tell me about your hair. That's
Hmm.
gonna tell me what they fit. They first gonna say, oh, it's just so dry. Or I normally wear it like this. They're gonna tell me what their look is. And then I ask them, okay, so what is your goal? And we make a plan to bridge the gap between the goal and
Right.
where they feel they currently are. Sometimes the client is completely think their hair is way worse than what it is,
Hmm.
and are able to bring comfort to that. And sometimes you have clients that are kind of a little bit in denial. But it's okay and I think it's all about managing expectations. So,
Right.
how do you manage your clients' expectations? Because I know you get some people that are probably like, "Well, I want to braid this, I want to braid," and it's like, "Well, baby, we might have to modify a little
Right.
bit."
So I manage their expectations. I'm completely honest with them. I have definitely had
Mhm.
clients, especially when it comes to locks and me doing lock extensions
Yes.
and extended locks for micro lock styles. I've had people come in with thinning hair types and everything, and they are
Yeah.
expecting more than I'm able to do. Let's just say it like
Yes.
that. And so I have
Mhm.
to be honest with them, and I also have to be honest with them about the tension of certain styles,
Mhm.
um, about how certain things will look, because some people assume with like locks or braids even that if you have like a thinning hair texture or whatever, that oh, putting this over is going to cover all of this up. And I have to be very honest with them, like
Right.
no, like if it's
Mhm.
like that, it's going to be it's nothing that's going to cover that up. As a matter of fact, putting braids and parts in it is going to make that even more gappier. Um,
Yes.
so I also have to be honest with them with just like, for instance, I had a girl that just came in for a shampoo and blow dry, and she just needed a
Mhm.
shampoo and blow dry because she was going to somebody else to get a braid service. And while she
Mhm.
came in for that shampoo and blow dry, I just let her know, you next time you come in, but after you get these braids in, because I know you're going tomorrow regardless. But after you get these
Mhm.
braids in, you definitely need a protein treatment because there was a lot of shedding within the bowl
Yeah.
when she was getting her hair done. And while she was there, I was able to add on a trim to her service because she needed a trim. And my thing is, if, like I said, if you're going to do that protective style, go into it with good hair so that you're actually holding on to something that's good and it's not. That style won't damage your hair even further. So,
Yeah.
being honest with my clients and about the expectations, it's even just like color. When I do color, I let them know ahead of time. We're gonna see what
Mhm.
your hair is gonna do. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
promise you that this is gonna be the outcome. But
Mhm.
what we can do with the integrity of your hair, we can see how it's going to go, how it's going to
Mhm.
turn out to see if you're going to need to do another appointment or
Yeah.
even if this is even going to be achievable for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So yeah, just being 100% honest with them. And I do a lot of that at the shampoo bowl because that's where I'm
Mhm.
able to see a lot
Yeah.
of what I need to see. I've had, like
Yes.
I said, I've had clients come and even one lady that wanted to get a lock install, and
Mhm.
she told me that she had thinning hair and everything like that. We did the consultation. I did not shampoo her hair during the consultation, but she
Mhm.
did find out when she went and shampooed her own hair. By the time she came back to me, everything was gone, and she
Mhm.
found that out by putting water on her own hair. And I was so happy that she did it, honestly, because I didn't want to be responsible or anything like that.
Right.
But I was able to come back and let her know, like, okay, so, and I told the lady, I was like, the best thing for you would be something like a lace front, all of that.
Mhm.
And I did not service her. I didn't take her money. I didn't try to do anything because there was
Mhm.
some extra attention that needed to be had there that I can't
Yes.
service. So I didn't have a
Yes.
problem with referring her to somebody else, even telling
Mhm.
her that maybe you may need to go see a dermatologist. But I think
Mhm.
just being honest with your clients and learning how to say no,
Mhm.
and I think it's up for the client as well, like you were mentioning earlier. It's a relationship. And that's
Yes.
what a lot of people need to understand. Yes, I have advice. Yes, I have what I think is going to be best, but you also have to be willing to receive. You also have to be
Yes.
willing to be honest about where you're at with your
Mhm.
own hair as well. So, yeah, it's a give and take.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love how you said you were able to let them know everything at the shampoo bowl.
Hmm.
A lot of this is being missed, honestly, with people going to get, different protective styles, different places. So tell me, put your head educator hat on for all of our braiders that do not shampoo, that do not offer trim, that want their clients to come pre stretched and everything. What is your advice to them for the longevity of their business and their clientele?
My advice to them, well, for one, to maximize income, we can start there. I would, as a cosmetologist, advise that the service be provided, first of all.
Yes.
I mean, just
Yes.
along with business, anyways, that's people are always talking about braiders don't get paid enough. The
Mm-hmm.
services are extra long. And I do understand most braid services are
Mm-hmm.
longer.
Mm-hmm.
But the plus side, besides just maximizing your earnings to shampooing this client's hair, is as that client is coming back to you, you understand their hair even more. You're able
Yes.
to guide them, because one of the things like people say is, oh, I want to go get my hair braided so my hair will grow. You don't want to
Mhm.
just be known as a person that braids hair. It's so much better to be known as a person that knows how to take care of hair.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if in the midst of braiding hair and just making sure somebody is leaving your salon looking cute and slayed to the gods, we
Mm-hmm.
actually need to be concerned. And it is our job. It is
Yep.
our job to be concerned with the integrity of that person's hair before they come to us and after they come to us. So for
Absolutely.
me, and also with shampooing the hair, we use products. One thing I learned when I was not shampooing my clients' hair, everybody
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to shampoo hair. Okay, we're gonna start
Mm-hmm.
right there. Everybody do
Right.
not know how to
It's true.
shampoo their hair, and it's I know it seems simple, but they just don't. Another
Mm-hmm.
thing is clients don't always know the right products to use when shampooing their
Yeah.
hair. So you may be using, and that's a lot of times why I do like to go in and shampoo my hair, because just the shampoo service alone, what the nutrients and the conditioning factors that I'm going to put into your hair, that
Mm-hmm.
alone right there is a good start
Yes.
to these protective styles and actual protective styles,
Exactly.
to just making sure that your hair is going to have that hair growth. A lot of times when I see people getting braids, whenever they take their hair out, it is a lot of breakage due to
Mm-hmm.
dryness, due to not being conditioned, due to the shaft splitting further up
Mm-hmm.
because you didn't get that trim prior to, or you're not getting them in between. So me as a cosmetologist and as a hairstylist, me shampooing the hair, my
Mm-hmm.
advice is it really sets you and your client up for more success. If you're able to
Yes.
braid and grow hair, it's much better than being able to just braid.
Yes, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And I also feel like it helps you to control the outcome better as well.
Yes.
Because you can have somebody come to you and they have all this grease and all this gel in their hair, and it's like you want your braids to look a certain way, but honey, you're gonna have
Mhm.
flaky everything
Yes.
in your hair.
White residue. And
Yes,
all products do not work the same if you do not start on a clean hair, clean scalp.
exactly.
Those, especially the jams and
Till,
the
yep.
edge controls and the gel
Mm-hmm.
that we use to braid, especially to do knotless. You trying to get
Mm-hmm.
that hair slick and it's natural and it's
Yep.
all oiled up. Yeah, no.
Mm-mm. Seriously.
Mm-mm.
And I was able to even um start providing a service to fill that gap. So I realized that a lot of clients weren't, getting that service. So I provided a service where people can come and get shampooed, trimmed, and a deep condition in
Mhm.
between your styles, in between that. So at least you are able to, go and get braided and your blow dried and everything is good with your natural hair before you go get it done again. So
Absolutely.
you got so that's like you said, leaving that money on the table. In that service, I charge like $50 and it takes me maybe like 25, 30 minutes to wash their
Absolutely.
hair, put them under the dryer for 10, 15 minutes, then shampoo, cut their blow dry their hair, then shampoo, cut their ends.
Right. And
That's it.
it's honestly even, and I'm not telling anybody how to run their business, but even for
Mm-hmm,
me, if my client listens to me, I kind of reward them a little bit. Okay, on my
mm-hmm,
site to do a wash and blow dry is probably like 45, 50.
mm-hmm.
To add on a trim on the site, it says okay, $25. But if you
Yeah.
sit there and you're like, and I offer it to you, and you're like, you know what? Yeah, go ahead and add that on. You know what? I'm gonna charge it for $15. I'm still gonna
Mm-hmm.
upcharge it.
Yeah.
But thank you for listening. And for me as your stylist, thank you for listening to me. And I do
Yeah.
that with new clients. And not to say it's, it happens every time or anything like that, but sometimes even just giving a little leeway or whatever, it
Mm-hmm.
helps build that rapport. Like, I'm not here to do this just to get the money. I do care about your hair.
Yeah.
And this is a business, so it does come with a service fee. Don't get me wrong, it
Mm-hmm.
comes with a
Mm-hmm.
fee. And that could be whatever you decided to be. But it builds that relationship to know, like, I'm here to care about your hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I absolutely love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Hmm.
So we're gonna stay in the educator vein for a second,
Okay.
and I have some pictures. Let
Okay.
me see if it will let us put them up. Hold on, let's see, because it's my first time doing this, y'all.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
I didn't
it
see
don't
this
put
last
us.
time.
Let's see. Okay, do you see the picture?
Yes.
So we're gonna do what I asked for versus what I got. I just have two little things.
Okay.
Tell me, you know. how would you manage this expectation if you have, let's say, a stylist in your salon who is offering these services? Their client came in and she's asking for this,
Mm-hmm.
but when she left out, she was given this.
Mm-hmm.
How does a professional, new professional, manage this expectation of the client with, they might not be able to get it as similar to the picture, or we see that it's not exactly what the client might have wanted. How do they manage the growth from that experience, would you say?
I would say you got to be on as a stylist. You even have to be honest with yourself. We know when we produce the right results and when we don't. So even as a stylist, for me, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that there every single time I hit it the ball out the park. In my learning days and everything, there were moments of mistakes, all type of stuff. You just have to own that. And me personally, people may think differently, but the business professional side of me, because I know how I want to be treated as a client as well.
Mm-hmm.
I am not going to charge somebody for a service that they did not ask for and that I still provided anyway. So I'm
I
very
did not
honest with
ask for
myself. I
this.
can't I can't do it. You have to be honest with yourself. Now, if you did everything you were supposed to do and you were honest with your client, like, look, I cannot do that style. I can do something similar, or I can do this, then yes, still charge and everything like that. But for you to just your client to show you a picture of their expectations and you not to say anything, and then at the end of the service turn them around in the chair and it be something that they did not ask for or that they weren't expecting, that's not fair to that client. It's not fair to
Right.
the client at all.
Absolutely.
And I even get being charged for time spent. I do.
Mm-hmm.
In that sense, though, my thing would be to just discuss with the client what would be the next best steps. But whatever my client would feel comfortable with in that situation, that I would try to satisfy my client in any way, and not kiss butt or anything like
Right.
that, or put my own business policies down or anything like that. But at the end of the day, when a mistake is made in our business, it is our job to own up to it and to correct it. It's called customer service. So.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I love this. So, and it's reality, and I wanted
Yeah, it
to show
is.
that, not to bash anybody
Yeah,
at
right,
all, because we all have had situations where we like, dang, I know I didn't do my best this time, but
right,
it's learning how to navigate those situations. And I
right.
found that if you're still professional in that environment and still make the client and honest with the client, they could still come back to you.
They
That's
still
not
will
a
come back.
loss.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am. Yes,
like,
ma'am.
because people value professionalism over anything else. I promise you, they
Mm-hmm.
value that, because nobody wants to go in. She like, okay, she might not did it like I wanted it over here, but I still felt welcome. I felt comfortable. It wasn't
Hmm.
a whole lot going on around me in the atmosphere. It was settling. I was able to get my hair done in peace.
Right.
So that right there alone will take people so much further. And I'm glad that
Absolutely.
I said that. Let's talk about the environment that people get their hair done in.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of clients, they want to be able to come, and I feel it's we have to some degree have lost the professionalism around that. People don't want to come and have 8 people in front of them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we just don't live in that
Era
society anymore.
anymore. Mm-hmm.
So, where we used to spend all day at the beauty salon, we don't have that time anymore. So, how would you advise somebody to make sure that their client feels comfortable and feels like they are in a good environment when they're getting their service done?
I would say to just be inviting. Be
Mm-hmm.
inviting, be open, be honest,
Mm-hmm.
and present yourself as somebody that not only cares about making money, but also cares about the results you put out, that cares about
Yes.
the person that's actually coming to spend money with you.
Mhm.
Sometimes that can be done just by simply saying, when a lot of my clients are middle-aged clients, and
Mhm.
they're coming and they have, high-end jobs, so they
Mhm.
are booking tailing me to make this appointment and not be late and everything.
Yes.
So sometimes that just comes with simply offering a bottle of water, a snack.
Yeah.
Sometimes it come a lot of the times to make my clients feel comfortable, because I do have a lot of women. We
Mhm.
love our TV shows.
Yep.
So
Yep.
even in days where I may not know what to say, I may not feel like talking, I
Mhm.
still make people feel comfortable by just saying, "Girl, let's put on this little TV show while I'm doing your hair, and we'll talk
Mhm.
about the documentary that's on." I always
Yes.
put on something that's intriguing, so
Yes.
we always get to communicate and just have conversation about what's going on the television.
Mhm.
Um, and so just doing simple things like that, like I said, by being inviting, it goes a long way. It goes a long
Yeah.
way.
I
Hmm.
agree. And you and that moment can be so powerful, from like the
Absolutely.
shampoo bowl to the chair. You can literally take that client out of their reality for just a
Hmm.
minute. For
Yep.
just a minute. And people will pay just to be able to have some peace, like I said already.
Yes. Yes.
So that's why when I have my clients, I always make sure that their shampoo experience is the best experience that I can provide. I
Hmm.
want them to feel relaxed. I want them to feel like I'm really cleaning, scrubbing, and getting into, what they
Right.
need, and just making the atmosphere pleasant,
Right.
because nobody wants to go to an atmosphere and people cussing and doing all this stuff,
Correct.
and that might be okay for some clients, but it's also how you want your brand to be presented, because you
Absolutely.
will attract. Uh-oh, I'm
You got it?
back.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
You will attract clients that are like you. So you want to
Absolutely.
make sure that you present yourself the best way possible, so that you can
Hmm.
you can attract the clientele that will pay what you want them to pay, that will act the way you want them to act in your place of
Hmm.
business. So absolutely.
People don't want to believe it, but image, it really is everything, especially when it comes to your
Yes.
business. How you present
Mhm.
yourself and how you portray yourself, the power of reciprocation is real. Okay.
Yes.
And it's real in so many different ways outside of monetarily and everything like that.
Hmm.
But whatever you put out there, that's what you're getting back. So I honestly
Hmm.
can say a lot of my clientele, I haven't even had to deal with a lot of
Certain.
drama or
Yes.
certain things that people have to do when it comes to clientele, because I attract a more mature clientele, because that's what I put
Yes.
out. I
Exactly.
attract people that are respectful, even if they do have issues. They know how
Hmm.
to come to me and say, "Hey, look, I didn't like this last time," or "Hey, look, can you change this up?" And I'm willing to adjust for that client within
Hmm.
reason or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and then on top of that, you also get a particular client that, whether they're willing to tip,
Hmm.
the styles that they get, all type of things. Like, it's your image really, we don't like to accept it, and we want to be business owners and still just go out here
Come
and rah
on.
rah rah and do everything that we
Yes.
want to do, and that is your prerogative, but
Hmm.
you cannot expect that that is not going to be a reflection of your business as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. And I think we need to teach a etiquette class or something like that
Yes.
for professionals. For
Yes.
sure. So I want to talk about something that you shared with us that you're working on now. Well,
Mhm.
when I say us, I mean social media. If you are
Okay.
not following her on social media, tell them where they can follow you really
You
quick.
can follow me on Facebook, Instagram at Tweaked by Janae, and on
Mhm.
TikTok at Janae Monique.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay. So you are working on something that you say you have been wanting to do for a long time, and that's going into the nursing home and collaborating with those individuals with the business to service their clients.
Correct.
Tell me, how you feel about that, and shed some insight on somebody who might be wanting to do the same thing but don't know kind of where to start.
So I am a little nervous. I've
Okay.
never dealt with this population before,
Mhm.
but it has always been on my heart. I here lately, I have really been wanting to give. And like
Yes.
I said, even in my introduction, hair is a lifestyle for me. It is not
Hmm.
just about the money. But I do make good money while doing it. So
Mhm.
God has blessed me. But there, with that being said, there are aspects that I do enjoy giving back because our
Mhm.
hair is our crown, it's our confidence. And in
Yes.
these certain facilities where we have the elderly in facilities where they are already kind of enclosed,
Mhm.
kept in a room or don't really have that much going on to where they have a reason to care for their hair or to
Yeah.
get dolled up or whatever. But the truth of the matter is those simple things keep our confidence up. They keep our
Yes.
self-esteem up. They keep our
Mhm.
mood up. They keep,
Mhm.
it just impacts so much within us. So I really am excited. While I am nervous, I'm also very, very, very excited to see the outcome of just boosting
Mhm.
their confidence and giving them the confidence that they need, even if it's just to make it through that day, to make it
Yeah.
through that week. If it even has to be a such thing to where they love being there now because I know I'm going to get my hair done on this Tuesday.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I'm gonna wait for Tuesday, and
Yes.
I can't wait to see. I'm so looking forward to it because with our hair, like I said, it's a lifestyle because it's a ministry. And I heard
Mhm.
you guys talking about this on the last podcast, but
Yes.
I so resonated with that part of the conversation because it truly is a
Mhm.
ministry. I learned that a while
Yes.
ago when somebody said that the pulpit doesn't have to be in the church at the altar.
Does
Your
not.
pulpit is wherever God has told you to go and wherever God
Absolutely.
has commissioned, whatever community He's commissioned you to or told you to target, that is
Mhm.
your pulpit. So my pulpit is my chair. And
Yes.
it ain't always me preaching or laying hands on somebody. It's actually
Mhm.
rarely ever that. It's
Yep.
more so like I've been talking about these conversations that we have and building the confidence.
Yes.
There's been times where people have been sitting in my chair and they're going through things that
Yes.
didn't even really want to talk about, but me just being me, like, how's your day going? How's this going? And
Yes.
everything. And they're like, girl, you wouldn't even believe it. And just them
Mhm.
coming to that hair appointment is what they needed. Like you said, to get some peace, to
Mhm.
get slow down,
Mhm.
exit all of that out for just a moment. And
Yes.
it's just me and you. Feel free in
Mhm.
this space. And then also to afterwards get that boost of confidence. Okay, that's one less thing I got to worry about. At least with all this going on, I feel pretty. I feel good about
Mhm.
myself. And
Yes.
that's more ministry than what people really realize.
No, seriously. And that's
Yeah.
what we start talking about, like ministry in the marketplace.
Right.
Shift gears.
Yeah.
It can be way more impactful than going to an actual church, because some people are not going to come to church. I mean, we're
No.
just in that day. Some people are not coming. They're not
Right.
coming.
They
So
not coming.
come out church.
Yeah. Mhm. You got to
So
come out and
it's
get them.
yes, it's so important and to me, to be able to have people who are believers in certain atmospheres and in certain fields, because they can reach people that are never going to step foot into the four walls of a church, but you
Exactly.
carry it within you. So I definitely love what you said about your chair being the pulpit, because I have
Hmm.
had some things where people, well, I have really been able to help make somebody's day. There's been times where, plenty of times where the Lord just pressed it upon my heart to let this one go for free, because it's gonna bless them in a different way that you don't see.
Hmm.
And that really brings, will bring positivity back to your business, because you're
Absolutely.
willing to freely give.
Hmm.
So, don't be so close, have your hands so closed tight that you're not able to see a need in the moment, because you
Exactly.
can bless somebody this day and then you turn around and get it back tenfold with the next
Absolutely.
client. I've had
Hmm.
a client, I've had to let somebody a $90 service go out of the door, then somebody come right behind it and book a $200 service.
Right.
So
Exactly. Hmm. And
it
tip.
it goes, yep, and tip.
And tip.
So it definitely goes hand in hand. So I'm so glad that you said that, because you can really tell the people who do it because it's their ministry, it's a part of who they
Hmm.
are, it's their craft and their brand, versus people who are kind of going with the fad of
Right.
trying
And
to make quick money.
I even had to ask God, like, okay, when I did find out that that was my pulpit, okay, what do you want me to do? Because
Mm-hmm.
how am I supposed to use this to reach people? And sometimes, like I said, it's not about the trying to speak a word into somebody or anything like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's giving them the freedom to be free, and then
Yeah.
also sometimes like I don't do it so I don't make anybody uncomfortable or whatever. But I will pray for my clients right while I'm on your head. Baby, let me go ahead and
Listen,
send a prayer for her because she
same,
going
same.
through or whatever. And they don't even never know it. But
They
I'm back
don't
here
never
crying and praying,
never know.
crying and praying. So,
Mhm.
and they don't have to know. But I have
Yep.
done it for plenty of clients because it was a need and it was a need that I saw.
Hmm.
And God just dropped it in my spirit. If you can't do anything else, if you can't say anything, if you can't do anything, you know how to talk to me and go
Listen.
and speak to me on behalf of them. So I'll do
Yes.
that. Hmm.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I promise you, the client can tell the difference. You
Hmm.
cannot tell me that they don't. Like I shared earlier, like maybe a couple weeks ago on Facebook, that a client came in and she was like, and I was actually having a day where I was kind of just like, I'm ready to go ahead and get it over it and go home. But I
Hmm.
still did not respond out of emotion. That's one thing that we have to learn how not to do. When it comes
Hmm.
to your business, do not respond out of your emotions. Just because you're
Correct.
feeling a certain way today, still
Hmm.
show up, still put your makeup on, still present
Yeah,
yourself as the best that you can, because that little moment of emotions is not going to define your business, and when you
absolutely.
come up out of that emotion, you're gonna wish that you had continued. Trust me, I know.
Absolutely.
But there was a time where a client, she came and she said, this environment is just so peaceful, from the music to the this to the that. And she was like, it's like everything just have to fall off of you at the door. And
Hmm.
I promise you, that morning I was in the car praying on the way to my salon. And I said, Lord, just when my clients come, just let them feel like everything fall off of them before they come in.
That's crazy.
And
And
she opened
look,
up her mouth and said it. And I said,
yeah, your confirmation, you doing
thank you.
exactly what you're supposed to be doing and walking in your purpose.
Yes, yes. And
Mhm.
let's talk about that, because I'm actually experiencing some challenges right now in my business.
Mhm.
So it's like we have to learn how to weather the down seasons
Mhm.
as well, if not better, that we weather the up seasons. We
Absolutely.
have to learn how to do that. We
Hmm.
can't, try to jump ship every time something get bad. And
Right, right.
I've been one of those ones. But that's my truth.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a reality. It is a reality. You
Yes.
are not the only one. It is a
Yeah.
reality. I've heard so many people that have jumped ship because they had a bad day, or things ain't going how I thought they were gonna go. It's not
Yeah.
fast coming in, so I'm finna jump ship.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's a reality for sure.
Yeah, it's a reality. We gotta, and I think we also, as business owners, that's kind of putting on that business mindset, and not and understanding that in every business there are peak seasons and there are valley seasons. Every
Absolutely.
business, I don't care what you do, you're gonna have
Mhm.
some months that perform better than
Better than
others.
others, correct.
So,
My what I would encourage people is, one thing that has helped me is to always have a plan for the
yes.
up and for
Hmm.
the downtime. So like, even
Hmm.
for me, it was probably just last year, and I've been doing hair since about 2020, but it was
Hmm.
probably just last year that I was able to take the DoorDash app off my phone comfortably.
Come on, tell the people.
And
Tell the
there were
people.
definitely times, I had faith, God still kept the money coming in. I had the
Yeah.
clientele, but there was a time where, like, okay, this week it would have been the end of the week, or it'd have been today, and I'm
Hmm.
looking at my client and I don't have anything booked for Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. And
Yep.
I'm like, oh God, well, that's my
Hmm.
money making days. What am I gonna do? I'm calling my mama, mama,
Yeah.
mama. Like,
Help me.
and honestly, I told you I call my mom for every time I need help. So I'm
Hmm.
calling my mama. So every
Hmm.
time I call her, she had to drill it into my head because it was probably going on for about 6 months. I'll be
Yeah.
calling her like, Mama, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't have the
Hmm.
clientele. And she said, Janae, relax. They're gonna
Hmm.
come. And I'll be
Hmm.
like, okay, I hear you, but still looking at my schedule like, but you don't see what I see. Like,
Right.
I believe you, but when they coming.
Right.
So I will always have a plan B. If you can't, even if you can't make that money, you have bills to pay. You
Yeah.
have a child to take care of. So and I'm single. I don't have a husband. Ain't no
Hmm.
backup plan. So
Yeah.
it
It's
was all
real.
over me. Right. That's real. So
Hmm.
I had DoorDash. I had Lyft. I had all of that in my back pocket ready to do, just in case
Mhm.
there was going to be consistent days that came up and I was
Yeah.
going to have to do that job instead of going to my job. Now, I will be, to God be the glory, I'll be honest with you. I never had to do it.
Come on. Come on.
I would pray, and I always pray because when I see that time, okay, I hear my mama saying that was confirmation, but let me seal this, cause
Listen.
and I would pray, and I would also be ready to execute that plan B as well. I wouldn't just
Yes.
pray and be like, oh, I'm gonna just leave it in his hands. I'm still ready. If I gotta go on here and do these DoorDash trips, I'm gonna go do them.
Hmm.
But every single time, I lie to you not, Samaya,
I
he made a
believe you.
way. He
I
made a
believe you.
way, and that's why I just got comfortable. And I was like, okay, I think you're comfortable now to
Hmm.
just let you can delete the app off your phone. I don't think you're gonna
Hmm.
be using it. You're gonna need it or whatever. And also just making more ways for income, like selling my
Hmm.
hair oil,
Yes.
being available and getting my face out there for different classes and segments, being at West area and doing classes for the kids, even at my
Hmm.
church and being available to do things like that was a way to kind of bring in a little extra revenue. And also it was a way, even if I didn't get paid for the event, it was a way for me to get my name out there because I
Yes.
would go and people are booking appointments now. So
Yes.
that's how we filling in the gap. I went to my nephew's graduation last week
Hmm.
and three people booked an appointment.
Come
And that was
on.
just a graduation party. So
Listen.
it's in different ways. That's why I say hair is a lifestyle. It's not
Hmm.
just making money because I used to be so upset going to go enjoy myself and somebody come
Yeah.
up to me talking about a hair appointment.
Yeah.
Not right now. No, 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 no.
I know.
Not right now. I didn't like it when I was in church, and the first thing people went up to me is, Jhaney, after service, can I get this hair appointment? I'm like, y'all, can I just need a day?
Yeah.
But God had to help me see that's your ministry.
Yeah.
This is you. And
Yeah.
while it is what helps you make your money, and you do need to keep those boundaries up, don't let it become your life to where you don't have that free time and everything. You also
Yes.
have to realize that if you don't take it, you just missed your opportunity to fill in the
Yes.
gap. And
Yes.
that is the reality that we don't want to face. And it's not a sense to where you work 24/7 or overwork
Hmm.
yourself, but take advantage of the opportunity for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love everything that you just said. Absolutely.
Yes.
Because it's important to talk about that because everybody wants to be booked and busy,
Hmm.
and I don't want to be booked and busy. I want to be,
Hmm.
successful and secure.
Absolutely. Yes.
So, and that was one of the reasons that I started this podcast. I was like, I can talk about this stuff all day. Why not
Hmm.
build a platform where other people can learn, where other people
Right.
can get something from it, and I can make revenue from it as well.
And I feel
So,
like you said earlier, when people drop it, that's
yeah,
another reason why people drop it is from burnout.
yes,
Because you can't, one thing you can't allow, while you are going to provide customer service, while you are going to adjust within your means or whatever, you can't allow
hmm,
other people to run your business. And
yes,
that's even as far to going, if a client, you have to set your time frame. From
hmm,
this time to this time is when I'm going to be operating this business. Everything
yes,
else, and I had to do that even as a single mom, because
hmm,
if I'm always at the shop, my son was always at the shop, or
yeah,
I'm not investing into him. And I had to
yeah,
realize, like, slow down, back up.
yeah,
Cause yeah,
yeah,
you making the money, you making them happy and everything. But what's going on at home?
yeah. That's
Cause
true.
he matters too, you know?
Yeah,
And so
yeah,
I had to separate, like, okay, there's a time to be stylish, Janae, but there's also a time where you gotta cut that off,
yeah,
and you need to be mommy Janae, or you need to be sister Janae, and you need to spend
yeah,
time with your family. And those times, honestly, me making sure I have my break is what keeps me going to go back in the next day and be like, all right, let's do this again. Like,
yeah. Yes,
yes,
no, seriously. And I think, we have to get out of the survival mentality as well. Like,
absolutely.
I understand that week to week, we are going in. Well, and when you're at a certain point of your business, week to week, you are going in and you're like, okay, hopefully I have somebody that books this week. But,
Hmm.
we should all be trying to get to the point where we have systems in place to help us do better. But the reality is, we kind of have that survival mentality, and stylists, we can make multiple six figures doing what we do,
Hmm.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
But it's
Especially if
the
you're working about
management.
16 plus hours a day.
Yes, it's the management of the funds and of the time
Absolutely.
that helps us.
Mhm.
We don't see it. I remember one time, and I always think about this when I be like randomly, one time you had posted on Facebook, or you shared something on Facebook that said, um make it hairstylists are really the new drug dealers or something like that because we make money so quick.
Yeah. Get that
And I
money
was thinking,
quick.
yes, and I was thinking about that. We really would be walking around with like a whole bunch of cash in your wallet. Like, wait a minute, what you
Hmm.
do?
Right. Exactly.
But it's like we have to understand that, we have to put in systems in place and understand like we are here for the long run and not trying
Hmm.
to just chase every client. And I remember, Janae,
Exactly.
when you used to be at the salon at 7 o'clock in the morning and you still there at 9 p.m.
Yeah,
Like
I have my
I
days.
yeah,
I have my days.
yes.
But
But
like you said, we learn and we have to adjust and everything. Yep.
exactly, yes. And
Hmm.
then it also helps you to, you have to get every stylist got to pay their dues. I'm sorry,
Absolutely.
you got to pay your
Absolutely.
dues to the industry. So if that's you working sun up 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. then or longer, that's
Right.
just what
Because
it
in those
is.
beginning stages, when you building that baby, yes, I
Mm-hmm.
had to take what I had to take. If you couldn't come until you got off work, then baby, I'm gonna have to take that client when I got off work
Mm-hmm.
because I needed to build my rapport and my I needed people to know who I was within the city, within the community. And the only
Yeah,
way I was gonna do that was making myself available. And
exactly.
that's honestly one of the biggest things that I find now with people staying successful within the business is
Mm-hmm.
even them being reliable and accountable and available during their opening hours.
Yeah.
Most people, no matter how good I've seen that they do work or can bust the middle part sewing down,
Mm-hmm.
it's the not being reliable
Yeah.
that doesn't get them to the success spot that they should or need to be at.
Yes.
Because you do feel like in those beginning stages, you really can't have too much entitlement. You do have to be
No,
humble. You
you
do have to
do.
show some humbleness. And it's
Mm-hmm.
okay until you get to that point to where the demand is there,
Mm-hmm.
then you can kind of adjust and start doing what you think. But a big problem is people coming just out of cosmetology school and having a list this long of policies about what you not finna do already. Well, you
Listen,
just canceled out so many people,
you
and I
did.
get it. I don't try to tell other people how to run their business. None of that. You want to have
Mm-hmm.
all those policies, baby, have them. But
Mm-hmm.
understand there is something that is attached to that. Okay.
Listen. Seriously, seriously, you have to crawl before you can walk.
You have
Okay,
to.
you
You
cannot
have
position
to.
yourself like a 15-year veteran stylist over
You
here. You cannot.
can't. You have, like you
So,
said, you gotta get it through the mud at first. You
yeah,
gotta put in that groundwork. That
hmm,
groundwork is so important. And it's a
yeah,
learning season that a lot of people are trying to skip and it
hmm,
hinders them in the long run. It hinders
yes,
them in the long run. So
absolutely, yes, yes, yes. Okay, so I know we are on time constraint, so
that's okay.
we are going to just go to do some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So, um. These questions, you just, say the first thing that come to your mind. Okay.
Okay.
So braids or locks?
Locks.
Knotless braids or box braids?
Knotless braids.
Okay. Silk press or wash and go?
Wash and go.
Really? Okay.
Yes. My hair damages so bad with I try to stay away from silk presses. I ain't gonna hold you
Yeah.
because my hair with that heat and everything like that, even when
Yeah.
I have leave outs, I still have my curl pattern, but my hair easily damages. So I'm gonna choose to wash and go. Anything that can
Yes.
keep my curl pattern
Your curls
good, that's
together.
what I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with. Yep.
Hmm. Got you. Okay. Client who comes with their hair detangle or clients who don't?
Oh, clients that come with their hairs
Of
detangled.
course.
Mhm.
Okay, do you feel like coconut oil is like good or is it overhyped? Because a lot of people rave about coconut oil for natural hair.
I think it is good.
Okay.
I think it's overhyped in its use.
Okay.
Because people just want to just throw coconut oil and it's like, oh, and I'm like, nah.
Yeah. But tell us about the oil that you provide that people can purchase from you.
So the oil I provide is all natural ingredients. It is filled
Hmm.
with natural powders, a herbal mix, natural herbal mix, vitamin E oil, as long as some other oils that I have construed it into one big oil
Hmm.
mixture. And it is really, really good for hair growth, for retention. And I like to tell people it doesn't more so make your hair grow, what it does is help protect your hair and help keep the longevity of your hair. So as your hair grows, you have less breakage. That's what it does.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, but yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful oil, and the scent, from what I've heard,
Hmm.
I made it my own, but the
It's
scent
good.
comes from all the natural herbs. I
Hmm.
use 100% pure oils in it as well, and it has a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful scent. And some people just use
Yeah.
it on their skin. They don't
On
even
the
use it
skin.
in their
Hmm.
hair. Yeah, it works really well on eczema, so I've heard.
Yeah.
So all the actual elements in it are really, really beneficial to hair, skin, and nails.
Yes, I love that. And you said something. It will protect your hair as it grows because the thing about it is your hair is going to grow. It's the
Right.
fact if you're retaining the length or not. So, and
Exactly.
that's another conversation.
Right.
Okay, how long do you really think a sew-in should stay in for?
Sewing for me shouldn't stay in no longer than about 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay, I agree. I
Yes.
must definitely agree. And in between that 6 to 8 weeks, around that third week, you need to be having a maintenance appointment for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Can I give me 1 second? I do apologize.
No, you
I
good.
gotta
You
I gotta
good.
get my charger really quick.
You good.
Okay.
Okay, so what is, let's see, one product every natural hair girl needs to own or guy?
Okay. So let me go with a particular brand, because when I saw this, I didn't know exactly. I don't know exactly one particular product, but what I will
Hmm.
show you, because I had this on hand. First of all, the Amika hair brand line.
I have been using that. Well, I've been using
Yes.
the styling products. Tell me about that one. Okay.
So
Amika
this,
sponsor my girl.
yes, look now, okay. But Amika, ever since I've started using this works. It actually nourishes the hair, and not only just this product, but the just the line itself. It is actually
Hmm.
very, very nourishing for our hair type. And one thing that I like for clients to realize, it's not it's not about the product you use. It's really how that product makes your hair feel afterwards.
Hmm.
So, and for everybody, that may be different.
Hmm.
But from what I've seen, as a vast majority, the Amika hairline for prep, because they have a lot of good shampoos, a lot of good
Hmm.
conditioners. Even for your blowouts or silk presses, they have a lot of good products or whatever that can add nourishment and everything to the hair. And then for actual caring for your natural hair after you've prepped it, it would be the
Hmm.
Design Me line. I don't know if y'all see
Okay,
that.
I haven't heard of that one.
Design Me. They it's a really, really good line. I started using this probably last year, and it's a line that I have been able to really tell the difference in the feel and the nourishment of my hair after I use their curl creams, after I use their balms. Even especially this one for like wet setting and everything like that. It definitely accentuates the curls, but it does not make your hair hard. These products aren't full of alcohol, anything like that or whatever. So these are my, I don't know about favorite product, but as far as my favorite lines, I would say Amika and Design Me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Got you. Okay, so when it comes to a braid length, do you prefer floor length or mid back length?
Mid back, give me mid back. My
She
days of
said,
doing floor length. Mm-mm.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Okay. So, what's one thing that clients could say, like that they might? Well, Google said that I can do this, or somebody we doing hair this way. What's something that you know that clients do regularly that kind of makes you cringe? Like, that's not really good for natural
I,
hair.
the first one would probably be when people are just putting oil on their hair.
Yeah.
And it's like oil is the whole, like you said, oil is the holy grail. And while
Mm-hmm.
oil is good, it's really only a sealant, and it
Mm-hmm.
really only is beneficial to the scalp. And it does
Right.
benefit the hair, but only if there's something to benefit it. Like,
Right.
you know, so it would be that one. And also I see a lot of people with natural hair, they are on TikTok and trying
Hmm.
to get these trendy products, all these
Yes.
little trendy products. And that's really why I mentioned too, it's about how that product actually makes your hair feel and
Yes.
how it actually nourishes your hair. I'm not gonna call no names out or no brands or anything like that, but there have been certain trendy products that
Mm-hmm.
people have been using, and because this certain name or this face is attached to this product, they swear by it. And
Yep.
when you put that product on your hair, it didn't do nothing. Your hair still the same as it did prior to you putting the
Same.
products on. It was
Yes.
that one. In addition to that, people's they go on TikTok and they're like they find these curl custards and the people are like, oh, this is gonna make your hair curly.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing makes your hair curly.
Mm-hmm. It's
It's
curly.
it's either curly or it's not.
Yeah.
It's either curly or it's not. Now, what that product will do is help it insinuate your curls.
Mm-hmm.
It'll help make your curl a little bit more bouncy,
Mm-hmm.
exaggerate the curl. But baby, if you do not have a natural curl, no
You
product,
gone.
unless you put a jerry curl in or perm rod set, nothing is gonna make your hair curly. So get that out your head. Go ahead and get you a little perm
Listen.
rod set or do a flexi rod set, whatever you got to
Yep.
do. But there's nothing that's gonna just make it curly. And that
Exactly.
that is honestly a common myth that I've come across a lot with natural hair. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh my, she said it is or it ain't.
It is or it ain't.
Okay. So the last question. What is the last style that you did and you stepped back and was like, oh yeah, I did that?
Oh, so it was definitely some lock extensions that I did. I
Mm-hmm.
had did this service on lady. I always do a consultation before I do this service, but I did this service and the lady actually had been to a couple of stylists prior to, and they kept telling her that they didn't want to perform this service on her. And I'm always a little leery about that because
Mm-hmm.
now I want to see, well, why did they say that?
Yeah.
And because some clients are really determined to get what they want. And
Yeah.
I don't want to be the one to disturb the integrity of somebody's hair, like I said, to
Mm-hmm.
collect the check. So I
Right.
always go through, not bashing anybody, but I always go through, okay, well, what did the stylist tell you before? What did they see? All that.
Mm-hmm.
So we went through all of that. And it was really just a matter of the stylist being comfortable with doing the service, not
Okay.
that
She could.
the client could not receive this service.
Right.
So and I always she wanted some color. She was gray. And what she wanted to do was to lift her hair to a
Mm-hmm.
blonde color, and then
Mm-hmm.
she wanted to install some lock extensions that were blonde.
Okay.
And what she was doing was wearing a bun with Marley hair on top of
Mm-hmm.
her hair, and it was three different colors she had, which was a
Mm-hmm.
blonde color, which is 613. She
Mm-hmm.
had the honey blonde color with like a color 30, and then
Mm-hmm.
she had these pink highlights in the bun that she created. So that
Oh,
was
okay.
her color theory
Mm-hmm.
that she wanted, even for her lock extensions. So she
Okay.
wanted them to be 613. She wanted a few 30 pieces, and then she wanted a
Mm-hmm.
few of the pink pieces. So
Mm-hmm.
after I got done, I did her consultation, did her strand test, because now I'm a little worried. Let me make sure the integrity of your hair is good
Yeah.
before we just book you for this style. I did her strand test and I was able to show her the color. She loved it. I was able to tell her, like, your hair is strong enough for it. You're good to
Mm-hmm.
go. And when I got done with that lady's hair, she was so pleased. It looked so
Yes.
good. I was so happy that I was able to give her the colors that she wanted, and it's just happy
Mm-hmm.
for her that she was able to receive the service that she was desiring. But yeah,
Yes.
it was a good service. I ate a little bit.
Yeah, I know. Listen, pat yourself on the back. You did
Yeah.
that. Yes. Okay, I know I said that was the last question, but this is the last question.
That's
What do you
fine.
want every woman listening or person, professional, whatever? What is something that you would want them to know for this episode to leave them on a high and encouraged spirit?
My what I would want them to know is to, first of all, if you're a client, learn to love your hair. I
Mm-hmm.
think I think that comes apart even in our confidence. And it's whatever method, it could be a wash and go, whether it's a twist out,
Yeah.
whatever you decide to love about your hair, learn to love it, because there's too many people within, especially women within our community. that feel like they have to cover up their natural hair because it doesn't fit
Yes.
society standards.
Yes.
Because, oh, this isn't going to be cute for my birthday and I need it to be laid down to my head
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. And it's like, no, girl, like you are beautifully and wonderfully made. And that is the hair that
Yeah.
God blessed you with. Learn how to
Mm-hmm.
take care of it, learn how to love it, and learn how to do it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like that is so big within our community because part of loving your hair is part of loving you.
Yes.
And I feel like people forget about that. Like, that's you. So how
Mm-hmm.
you not gonna love you? Like, love
Yeah.
every bit, nick and crinny about how
About
God has
you.
created you. And I feel like
Yes.
once we do that, we will step into a space of true self-love, true confidence, and you'll actually desire to get educated about your own hair. And if you're a
Yes.
stylist, what I would leave you with is to just don't give up and
Yes.
plan.
Mm-hmm.
Invest in yourself, invest in in your business, and
Mm-hmm.
plan. Even if
Yes.
it's so much as creating your vision board at the beginning of the year, so you stay
Mm-hmm.
on track with the goals that has set out. But take the time to plan. I feel like that is really what we lack, and why we come to these stump holes, why we come to these, oh, I want to quit, I want to give up because I just
Mm-hmm.
don't know what's next. Because
Mm-hmm.
we're, we don't take the time to actually sit down and think about, okay, what is it that I want from this? What do I want to step into next? And
Mm-hmm.
also, what is God leaning me into? Like, what is
Yeah.
it that I need to go into? So once we actually do that and have those conversations with Him, have it with ourselves, and even have it with their clients to see what their needs are,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it becomes a whole lot easier to stay in the game and produce what it is that we need to produce.
Absolutely. I love it. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Well, that was so good. I have
Yes,
enjoyed our time together.
me too.
So, really quickly before we log off, you guys make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are up to, I want to say, 57 subscribers, and I want to
Yay.
continue to grow more and more and more. This show is aired on YouTube and Facebook, and I'm working on getting it on TikTok Live as well. So make sure that you subscribe to the channel, that you share with another professional, share with a client, so we can continue to grow our community. I have some crazy, amazing things that are coming up that will keep us as stylists into more community together. Okay.
Right.
Also, I want you guys to make sure that you go and that you purchase the Glow Up Your Beauty Business ebook. I said this in every episode. This book can be used not only for your beauty business, whether you're a lash tech, whether you're a stylist, whether you are esthetician, you want to make sure that you grab this because it really helps you to hone in on what your niche is. You know, how do you position yourself to be where you need to be for your clients, to attract the clients you want to attract? You know, how do you set yourself up for plan A, B, and C? How do you prepare for what longevity looks like? What are we doing as far as retirement, y'all? Because we cannot stand behind the chair forever. So make sure that you guys go and you grab the ebook in the link that is in this video. And I am looking forward to this airing and hearing back some
Yes.
good details. And thank you so much, Janae,
Thank
for
you for
joining
having me.
us. Thank you
Thank
for
you. Thank
sharing
you.
your expertise in your busy schedule, because I know being a mom, business owner is a lot to juggle. But
Yes.
thank you
Hmm.
for spending this hour and some change with us. We appreciate you, and we will have a part two.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. I'm
Yes.
excited for it.
All right, y'all. So we'll see y'all next time. Make sure that you subscribe. See
Bye.
you later.